Okay, so babe, we're checking out James Taylor, and you were bringing up James Taylor because
So you watched one.
Yeah, with him
and
Zach Brown, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and you were like, I've never heard of James Taylor, and that was shocking to me. Like, I haven't, I'm going to be honest, I only know a few songs, but
okay.
So this one song.
But your dad was a fan.
Everyone's a fan.
Everyone's a fan.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this one song, you've probably heard it. Like, I would put money down. You'd be like, oh, this song, this is like, you know the song. But so it's called Fire and Rain. It's really beautiful. So I just really quickly, he wrote the song in 1968.
Okay.
So it's an oldie. Song has 3 verses. One is about a friend who committed suicide. Another is about his addiction to heroin.
Wow.
And the third refers to a mental hospital and a band that he had started called the Flying Machine. So,
wow.
But it isn't like a super depressing song. Like, you'll feel good. But okay. I'm so sure you've heard it. Like, if you haven't, I'm going to be
I feel like you've played this for me, telling me that your dad has said, is this the one that goes, I see fire, nice rain? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I do remember that chorus, that little melody there.
Yeah.
But I've not paid attention to this song ever.
So a lyric video then.
I kind of want to see the live one, but I'll pay attention to it.
Okay, that's what you want. If that's how you want to live your life.
It is how I want to live my life. I miss people being like just actually good musicians.
Yeah, he'll be a good one.
Well, cool. Guys, if you're here, thank you so much. Thank you for supporting the channel. You're supporting, honestly, by just hanging out with us right now. Hitting like, subscribing, all of that. Where the freak is my plaque, by the way? Where's my play button? Don't I get one?
I think it's going to take a solid 6 months.
That's fair.
That's my guess.
Fair. Because that's what really matters.
Yeah.
Right? That's what really matters.
Piece of plastic.
But in the description down below, you can find other ways to help and support the channel. To all of you who have helped, thank you. All right. James Taylor, Fire and Rain, BBC in concert.
I like to swing right out of that tune and jump right into the next one. A song I wrote myself, mostly here and partially in the United States too.
So the first verse is about his friend.
About his friend, yeah. And so is he... Okay, first off, is James Taylor, is he technically country?
I don't know. He's probably like folksy.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
Folksy, country.
Yeah, he's like huge.
Oh,
6-time Grammy Award winner.
Yeah.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. One of the best-selling music artists of all time.
Yeah, like I am so surprised you hadn't heard. Had you heard the name?
No.
The name was not familiar. That is so crazy. This is a whole new thing you're going to get into here. James Taylor.
James Taylor.
Yeah.
What I was going to just say, it's, okay, so this is live. He's keeping, again, he's a master musician. His tempo is perfect. I love the guitar. I want to learn, I want to learn that on the guitar. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And his voice is, it's better than, a Bob Dylan. Like it sounds better, but it's still that style of, it's just a real person singing these words. Like he's not, it's a humble voice.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good word for it.
I feel I've ever seen someone perform something by the way. No stress. It's like if we were outside in our fire pit and he's singing, like that's how chill he'd be.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So, I like the line.
Look, there's like T Swift singing with, there's
somewhere she talked about, not to bring up Taylor Swift again, but that she loves James Taylor.
Cool.
Yeah.
I mean, you can honestly see the inspiration there because this is poetic.
Yeah.
I've seen fire and I've seen rain. So, okay, I want to look up.
But I like where it says, I've seen sunny days that I thought would never end.
Right.
Like, we do tend to think whatever situation I'm in is forever.
Right.
And we have to learn that like the good and the bad are all temporary. Like, just be grateful in the moment when it's good and be patient in the moment when it's bad. Yeah. Because neither is forever, There's this story that I read. Is this the one that I like?
No.
Share?
Not, but it's from the same book and it's somewhat similar. Okay. He's talking about the story of the Chinese farmer. Look that up. The story of the Chinese farmer. Life-changing story to think about. But so that story was brought up in one of my favorite books, The Power of Now. Mm-hmm. Another story he brings up. There was this king or an emperor, somebody royalty, right? The most powerful person in this area, was experiencing anxiety. And so he asks a spiritual teacher to come like help him overcome this. And what the teacher gives him is a ring. And on the ring, it says, this too shall pass. So what the teacher told him is anytime something good happens, touch your ring and remember and tell yourself, this too shall pass. And whenever something bad happens, touch your ring and remind yourself that this too shall pass. Yeah, like life is going to beat the crap out of all of us, but it's also going to give all of us moments that made it worth it. If we're like trying to be good people, right? There's going to be things that will justify.
Actually, I really believe that if you can, like, having kids has helped me to force myself to try and live in the moment a little more, because I can just be so overcome with like every possible scenario. The world is so dangerous.
Yeah.
But I really believe if you can live in the moment a little more and understanding that, like, just being grateful for what you have right now, I feel like you attract more positivity towards you.
Sure.
Like you tend to have less bad things happen. Like you're just, I don't know. Like,
is it this law of attraction thing that's just bringing stuff over? Or is it that because of this gratitude, you then are just noticing so much more good that happens? Maybe, but nonetheless.
Here's another story. We got all sorts of wisdom stories here today.
Yeah, let's go.
We should do a live stream, just like words of wisdom.
Should we start streaming? Would you guys hang out with us? Let us know. Comment down below.
I don't even know what I would say. No, this story, so I can't remember where it's from. I don't remember who said it, but this is the story. Is that there's a man, and he's kind of sitting in a park in his town, just kind of minding his own business. And a couple comes and approaches him and says, hey, we are thinking about moving into the neighborhood. I've told you this story before. And we just wanted to ask you, what's it like here? And he said, well, tell me about where you come from. And they said, oh, it's terrible. There's cracks in the sidewalk. There's gossipy neighbors, just listing all of the bad things about where they come from. And his response is, oh, well, you're probably going to find the same here. And I, oh, good to know. So then he goes on, minds his business. Later, another couple approaches him. This is a made-up story, by the way, right? Like, it's a parable. Another couple approaches him. Same question. We're thinking about moving into the neighborhood. We wondered what you thought of it. What can you tell us about it? And he says, same thing. Well, tell me about where you came from. And they said, oh, it was wonderful. We had best neighbors. All right, we had beautiful parks. It was just a great place. We're sad to leave, but we're excited to come somewhere new. He says, oh, well, you're probably going to find the same here. Like,
that's clever.
Whatever you're portraying, you make your own reality, if you can. Well said. Yeah. So that story's meant a lot to me. Like, wherever you are, you can be happy. You can make a happy life and be grateful for what you have. It doesn't mean that there's not sad times and that bad things aren't going to happen and you're not allowed to be sad. Of course, you're allowed to be sad. You should be sad when bad things happen. But if you live in the moment and have that like gratitude, I think those things will happen less. Or like you said, maybe you perceive them less.
Or you at least won't make things worse when those horrible things happen. Like sometimes the goal is like, how can I just not make this worse than it is right now? And like if a tragedy happens, so then you find yourself, getting drunk out of your mind and all of these things, you are making it worse.
Yeah.
What you had to do was just face this thing and just trust that it will be temporary. Yeah. So just go through it.
That's like my sister had to have major hip surgery twice.
Yeah.
And she said one of the things she learned was pain demands to be felt. Right. And we've talked about that too. Like it's going to be felt one way or the other. The only way is through it. Yeah. But anyways, there's a lot of deep discussions with this song.
The song follows Taylor's reaction to the suicide of Suzanne Schneer, a childhood friend, and his experiences with drug addiction and fame. After its release, Fire and Rain peaked at number 2. He's from Canada?
I guess so.
Well, now I don't like... I'm just kidding.
Nobody's perfect.
I'm an American immigrant. If you're Canadian, I'm an American immigrant. They told me I'm supposed to say that.
I'm surprised it was only number 2. Like, this song is like a national treasure.
Really?
This song is, everyone knows this song. Yeah. Mark my words, this video will do well because it's such a famous song.
Well, if you hung out then and helped this video do well, thank you.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful song.
It is.
I would like to learn how to learn that song and play it. I really like that song.
Yeah.
Well, there it is. There's the
Very
video.
nice.
Thank you guys so much for being with us. Thanks, babe, for
You are welcome.
till the next one, guys. Peace out.